Hello again, and welcome to the Comics Online podcast, Season 15, Episode 19. I'm your host, Kevin Gaussoin, and with me today, as usual, is our host of the Flashback Top 5, Troy David Phillips here, the store manager here at Flashback Comics and Games in Woodbridge, Virginia.
Kevin, take a deep breath. Relax. Be calm. There will be plenty of time for excitement. There are a great many exciting things happening in comics. But don't...
Are we going to talk about it?
Why would we do that?
I don't know.
I mean, isn't this the sports show?
Oh, God, I hope not.
Howdy, folks, and welcome back to Flashback Comics here in Woodbridge, Virginia. With me today, as per usual, my wonderful co-host, Kevin Gaussoin. ComicsOnline.com. Everything geek pop culture.
Hey! So,
how I just turned that right around on you?
It's great. So we're gonna do our top 5 for our watchers and listeners.
Five.
And do our top five,
five.
And then we're going to talk about something that you wanted to talk about.
Well, I'm going to do a quick top 4, and then my top 5 actually ties to the past and the future.
I like this.
Yeah.
All right. And hopefully you will like it too.
All right. So
you want me to do my top 5 and then you go into yours?
Well, yeah, why don't we do that? Because last week I think I started off, and so this week, let's throw a little shine on you.
All right.
I'm going to put my microphone down and loan you both my hands.
Okay. That's what, I don't know. Princess Leia? I don't know. Speaking of Princess Leia, Star Wars. Star Wars number 2. Yeah, Princess Leia, the comic book, won't be out until March, but here today, we've got Star Wars number 2. I read Star Wars number 1, and I was a tiny bit disappointed in the fact that this comes after A New Hope and before the Empire Strikes Back. I was kind of thinking it was going to be after Jedi, because I was really... That's what I was hoping for. I expect this to be awesome anyway, but hey, here we are. Here we are in between episode 4 and 5.
If I can just weigh in a little bit here.
Please.
I was a big fan of the Brian Wood Star Wars that Dark Horse put out almost, 2 years ago now? But this gives Jason Aaron the opportunity to write his take on the events that come after the destruction of the Death Star and evacuating Yavin and moving on. So I loved the Dark Horse stuff, and in my heart it stands, but Marvel has a brand new vista. One thing that Marvel does not have, as I understand it, is access to the Dark Horse inventory. So
but
there's a clean white slate for Jason Aaron or Kieran Gillen or Mark Waid or any other top-notch writer at Marvel to start writing on.
My concern is with this new series going into that particular time and space, that they will write over that original Marvel series, and I would like to keep that as canon, if at all possible, or some of it, most of it.
Well,
is it possible? I don't know.
Here's the thing, and I loved the original Marvel line, way back in the 1970s. However, the standards under which Marvel worked with George Lucas's company at that time were somewhat draconian. There were things that Marvel couldn't do. There were secrets that George wanted to keep to himself. So now Marvel has the opportunity for the doors to be wide open, to have access to the secrets of Darth Vader, the secrets of Princess Leia, Han Solo, and company, and onward, so they don't have to just make stuff up and not have access to what Lucasfilm tells them. You can't do this, you can't do that. I mean, one of the standards...
But that doesn't answer the question. Can they keep that original series as canon?
I suppose they could, but then the real question would be, would you absolutely want to, or would you like to go back to the days after A New Hope without George Lucas telling you, don't develop the romance between Luke and Leia, don't do anything with it, leave it exactly here for perpetuity until I tell you otherwise.
Okay.
You know what? Those stories, they were wonderful stories. I enjoyed them, but I want the current crop of writers to be able to have free reign.
That's reasonable as well. I would just I would like to see if that would be possible to be left in place. But if not, then okay, that's fine too.
Yeah, come in.
I mean, this is going to be great. Either way, this is going to be a great series. And now we've got issue 2 so soon.
Yes. You know what else is going to be great,
Was it 4
Kev?
weeks ago?
Yeah.
Time flies.
Well, January was a long month. Remember?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So you know what else is great?
31 days.
I'll tell you what's great is the artwork of Fiona Staples.
Yeah?
You know what else is awesome?
Tell me.
The writing of Brian K. Vaughan.
Yeah?
Now, imagine this.
I'm imagining.
You could have the writing of Brian K. Vaughan
Why the Last Man?
to the artwork of Fiona Staples.
Yeah. With
in
at
a
least
monthly series
2
from
staples
Image
per
Comics.
issue.
Here you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Saga issue 35?
25.
I want to just I'm behind on Saga. I'm at like issue 20, I think.
Now,
I'm glad it's not on 35.
yeah, really. That would be indicative of you being behind.
I mean, I've got them. I haven't read them. I'm pretty sure I have them all.
I know you already saw the front cover, but it's a beautiful wraparound, so I got to show you.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Oh, and flip it around to our narrator.
Oh, I will do this.
Our narrator in the boxy Prince of Boxy Town.
So, Kevin.
Yes, sir.
Were you on this book from the very, very beginning?
I was not. I wish I was. Tim Wilson of the Hat Decides podcast.
So, when did you discover Saga?
I don't know. It was probably about 6 or so.
6
issues.
or 7.
Yeah.
So, would you go back and catch up on trade format?
I got a trade, yeah.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, Image Comics has done a wonderful job of keeping the Saga series in its trade paperback format, keeping that in publication. So getting Volume 1, which is the first 5 issues, I believe.
Something like that.
And Volume 2, which is the succeeding 5 issues, and 3. And we're now up to Volume 4 of the Saga series. So whatever you've missed, I know those first few issues, the first 5, 6 issues are actually kind of pricey. I've seen
pricey.
number 1 going for anywhere from $100 to $200, depending on its condition.
Yeah.
So the trade paperbacks are available for someone who doesn't want to invest that much into the series. However, it has won a lot of Harvey Awards and a lot of Eisner Awards.
For good reason.
Yeah.
Brian K. Vaughan is a hell of a writer.
And Fiona Staples, amazing artist.
Yeah, I don't know where she came from before this, but I love her art. It lends itself perfectly to this story.
It does. So jump on Saga. I've got trades. I've got single issues. I will hook you up, just like I hook up Kevin here every month.
Every month. He tows my car away because I have to mortgage it anyway. What's my next one?
Your next one, Kev.
Oh, the all-new Captain America, #1, Fear Him. Fear him. Why should we fear the new Captain America? It sounds. I mean,
Were you reading Axis, Kevin? Did you see the inversion?
I know he turned into a jerk, but not like, oh, fear him.
Well, let's. Check this.
Did he get
out.
uninverted? Troy, for our listeners, of course, I know the answer. Wink. But
why do you want me to drop spoilers on people there?
Get uninverted because, you got Sabretooth who didn't quite get uninverted.
No, Sabretooth did not. And if you're reading Wolverines, the weekly series from Marvel, you get to see Sabretooth and Deathstrike. And, that's just... Man, the hits just keep coming in this thing, man. The artwork is wonderful.
Who's this guy? This guy.
That one I'm not recognizing right off the top, but I think and I see the Scarecrow. I believe that's actually Ian. I need to go back and double check some of that.
Huh. All right. Anyway, it's we've got Hopeless, Kodransky, and others, Mast and Jaffo and Massa as the creators on this book.
So yeah, all new Captain America. Fear Him, #1. You want to pick that up.
Yeah.
Are you ready to move into your next pick?
I am. Let's go.
Okay.
My next pick, for those of you, hey, it's Tesseract Tuesday. Tesseract, folks. Drink them if you got them. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, I didn't bring anything in. Do as I say, not as I do. Darn it. But we have an Agent Carter comic book, and this is a
Operation S.I.N.
Operation S.I.N. Spinning out of course, original S.I.N. We've got a little bit of a throwback to the Agent Carter years.
Yeah, with some Howard Stark here. Let's not forget Howard Stark's contribution.
Of course.
Stuart Immonen writing. It's wonderful stuff.
And who's this Ellis? Obviously, it's not the writer Ellis, but
unless Warren Ellis is suddenly taking up penciling.
Oh, well, he's doing a great job.
Ellis.
Good old Rich Ellis.
And shout out to Jordan Boyd, the colorist. Colors are important. Let's take another quick look. Quick one in there. So, yes, Agent Carter, Howard Stark, Woodrow McCord, Operation S.I.N. issue number 2.
Enjoying that show?
As a matter of fact, I am. I absolutely am.
Nice. Speaking of cinematic type things, my fifth pick for this week is the Ant-Man Prelude.
I lost a celebrity death match to Kevin for the opportunity to showcase this one in my top 5. His claymation figures beat mine 4 out of 5 times. It was embarrassing.
All that and more coming soon as Troy edits it together. Anyway, so we've got Ant-Man. This is like the 0 issue, but I think this is a 2-issue limited series. I believe, yeah, 1 of 2. And that will lead right into the movie.
And that movie is going to be amazing. Truth be told, I am a big fan of Scott Lang as the Ant-Man. Scott Lang is actually my favorite Marvel character to wear the mantle of Ant-Man. No offense to those fans of Henry Pym out there. Henry Pym is a favorite character of mine from the Silver Age of Marvel into today. I actually prefer Hank Pym in either his Goliath form or as Yellow Jacket.
I kind of prefer him as just, hey, he's just Dr. Pym, leave him alone, he's doing stuff.
Henry Pym, Scientific Adventurer?
Exactly.
In the red jumpsuit from the 1980s?
No. I'm just saying, like maybe post Death of Wasp, where before he gets crazy and becomes the Wasp himself.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm thinking.
But in all honesty, the Giant Man days of Tales to Astonish, those were wonderful days. The Goliath days in the Avengers, I certainly loved that. And then into Yellow Jacket, and Yellow Jacket had the opportunity to be a very significant character in Avengers history.
Yeah.
Ant-Man, however, I really felt that Scott Lang came into this and just, took ownership of it. But he was a likable character. There's just something about that hardworking single dad. He had made some mistakes. He admitted to the mistakes that he had made. He didn't try to blame it on other people, blame it on circumstances, whatever. He did some bad things. He paid the price for it. He was an electronics whiz working for Stark Enterprises. He helped out the Avengers a few times. This is where I was introduced to the character. The pages of Iron Man in the Demon in a Bottle days.
Okay.
So Scott Lang rapidly became one of my favorite new characters, a character from the Bronze Age of Marvel. I was teary-eyed when he died in the Volume 3 of the Avengers. I was glad to see him make a comeback. There's great stuff in there.
Missed that.
Yeah,
thankfully.
Well, but I'm going to help him get caught up because those are wonderful back issues.
Well, it was just like he's around, he's not so much around, but he's still alive, and then all of a sudden, Cassie is saying, "Oh, my dad's dead," and I'm like, "What?"
Yes.
Since when?
Cassie Lang, also known as the size-changing heroine Stature. You can find her in
she's tall.
Back issues of she could go small, but she does mostly big. Young Avengers.
Young Avengers, indeed.
Young Avengers. So, Ant-Man Prelude, issue 1 of a 2-issue miniseries, like many of the cinematic universes. It will take you from comics to the big screen.
Speaking of Young Avengers, you know what we need back?
What's that?
Runaways. I missed that
Runaways would be good, but
I missed that book. It was so good.
There's a lot going on with some of those characters. They've been spread out and around into other titles.
Yeah.
I'm not really ready to yank them all back and put them back in a single title again. given what they're doing or what they have done.
Yeah.
So
I suppose you could say the same thing about Power Pack, and I want them back too, and I want the New Mutants back too. I want my young adventurers, because when I was a kid, they were my adventurers. They were the superheroes I wanted to be. Perhaps.
Kevin.
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to put back the all-winter squad for you while we're at it?
Just make me a teenager again, and that's all I need. I'll be fine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, those are Kevin's top 5. Now, belt yourselves in. We're going to go through my top 5 picks.
All right.
Which are going to be incredible.
Oh, wait. Here, you hold this, and I'll do the stuff.
Okay. First up. First up, from Image Comics. This is it. We've been waiting very patiently for it. Issue 250. 250 of Spawn. Think about that. 250. What comic book on the market today has gone 250 consecutive issues without being renumbered, without being relaunched, without being rebooted? Yes, there have been different characters taking on the mantle of Spawn, but the story has unfolded for 250 issues. Here it is. This is big, fat. This comic is blunt force trauma waiting for a place to happen. I mean, there's a lot of extra pages. Show them that artwork. It is fantastic.
There we go.
Yes, indeed. Of course, you saw the cover. Todd McFarlane still has it in terms of his artwork. Whatever else you might think of the man, whatever you might think of his business practices, none of that is relevant. Todd McFarlane is a fantastic artist. Spawn has been a very engaging, supernaturally themed character. Certainly when he came out, he was different from most of what was being published at the time. I always thought Spawn was one of the most original, innovative comics from Image Comics back in the 1990s. I am jazz. I have actually made it a point not to read the previous 4 issues of Spawn so I could just sit down and shoot through 3 issues and then 250. Kapow.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow, are you reading that?
Next month, ladies and gentlemen, here's a little tiny spoiler for you. I won't show you the page, but I will tell you. The triumphant return of the original Spawn, Al Simmons, in Spawn Resurrection. Spawn Resurrection #1, that's next month. But this month, Spawn 250. True story.
Wow. All right.
You ready for number 2 now?
Ready for number 2.
Number 2 comes from Avatar Press. You can actually open that up and show them, because I picked the wraparound cover. Ooh. This is God is Dead, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, continuing the story of the mythological gods that have come to Earth and taken over and waged war on themselves. Mankind has introduced their own man-made, science-created gods. There have been minor gods that have risen up as the older, more established, more powerful deities have just knocked each other around, traipsed through hell, various versions of hell, the different higher planes, Asgard, Olympus, Nirvana, etc. Yeah. This is
a mature reader's book.
It definitely is that. There is violence, bloodshed, there nudity and sexual content. So this is not an all-ages title. This is not for the younger readers. Jonathan Hickman's God is Dead, written by Mike Costa. Juan Figueri is doing the artwork, and it is amazing.
All right. Oh, look at this cover.
Look at this. Now, I mentioned, I was talking a little bit earlier about Guardians of the Galaxy to someone, telling them to get ready for the Black Vortex. And here is the Black Vortex. Show them the cover, Kev. Show them what they got to get. Black Vortex #1 starts the all-new X-Men Guardians of the Galaxy crossover. This book is going to see tie-ins from Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy, Cyclops, and all new X-Men and Captain Marvel. We're out in the far reaches of space here. I know that Mr. Knife is involved in the story. I was following up and along while Kitty Pryde and Star-Lord are furthering their relationship, and she's trying to decide if she wants to be a space-born outlaw, And certainly the involvement of Storm and the Beast, I'm scratching my head and going, oh, wait a second, the Beast is neck deep in the incursions with the new Avengers. How's he doing double duty here? In any event, I guess I'll just have to wait until I sit down and read this. Humphreys, McGinnis, Anka, Farmer, Garcia, Mialo, Black Vortex #1.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great.
It does, actually. It really does. Okay, now, make sure you hold that one well to not get the glare on the polybagging. I have been waiting for this comic, I can't tell you for how long. Book 3 of Olympus, issue number 15 of Miracleman. Reprinting the Eclipse comics from the 1980s. This is it. The big, fantastic battle. Kid Miracleman versus Miracleman and compatriots. This is one of the most amazing supervillain, superhero battles I've ever read in comics. When Alan Moore did this, he outdid himself. This, in my heart, actually, even surpasses the Superman annual for the man who is everything, Superman versus Mongol. And that is amazement. One of the best Superman stories of all time. Miracleman takes the core concepts of what we know as Captain Marvel, Shazam, and modernizes them, puts a very heavy, mature stint on them. Miracleman has been going through some evolutions through the book up to this point in time. We're approaching, this is the climax of the Moore run. One more good Moore book, and then Neil Gaiman takes over, and the hits just keep on coming. But this, Kevin, if you didn't read it then, if you don't remember it, jumpstart yourself. You need this in your life. True story.
All right. So that's your top 4.
That's right. That's right.
And you're bleeding that right over into this over here.
Yeah. You see, I got 2 things here. Why don't you go ahead and hold both of those things up here?
Both of them.
Avengers number 41, which is a swipe of Ultimates number 1. Now, many of you will remember the Marc Millar series of Ultimates, which gave us a modern take on the Avengers. We saw Nick Fury put this team together. There was bipolar Henry Pym and Thor, who could have been delusional, and very narcissistic Henry Pym, Asian mutant girl, the Wasp, and the rediscovered Captain America, badass super soldier from World War II who fought Nazis and shape-changing aliens in World War II.
This is not just a takeoff. That's the art.
Yeah, well,
this is aside from the top, that's the same art.
Yeah, well, you know what? And it's wonderful. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The upcoming Secret Wars is going to combine violently, like smashing together, the 616 universe, that would be the Avengers verse, and the Ultimates universe. The Ultimate U merging with the main Marvel universe, and it's going to be painful and destructive. We're going to get Battle World. We're going to get Secret Wars. So like I said, this book, it bridges past into present into the future. I am excited about where Secret Wars is going to take us. But before we get to Secret Wars, first, we got to get through these incursion stories. We got to get through the Avengers. We got to get through the new Avengers. This is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I want to read this.
Of course you do. Pull out your old Ultimates and get jazzed up on that again, too. 13 issues of Volume 1, 13 issues of Volume 2, 5 issues of Volume 3. Remember the Jeff Loeb run?
Ooh,
Ultimatum. Yeah. Remember Hunger. Remember Cataclysm. Remember Survive. And, I could just go on and on. But, yeah, the Ultimates universe gave us some pretty big hits. And now the Avengers has been taking us down the road of these incursions. We're going to talk about that in Part 2 of the show.
Fans of Game of Thrones, particularly that Jaime-Cersei connection, will enjoy Ultimates 3. Just saying.
Yeah. Kevin was a big fan of that.
No.
So there we go, Kev. There's my top 5. There's my +1. There is my hints into the future. I'm ready to go boldly forward into tomorrow.
I'm with you. Let's do it.
All right, let's do this thing.
Anything else that you want to talk about today? You got any +1s or anything?
No. I think at the moment, I think I'm going to stand there. I think I dropped a lot of great stuff on people. You certainly had an awesome top 5 picks. A lot of Marvel over.
A lot of Marvel this week. Hey, some weeks are like that, and for me, frankly, most of them are like that.
Yeah. Well, whether you're like Kevin and you're a heavy Marvel guy, whether you're like me and you like a fair mix of everything Marvel, DC, independent, Dark Horse. Hey, I'm giving Kevin a little, I'm ragging on him for being all Marvel, but look at the Daredevil ladies and gentlemen. Daredevil, Netflix original series coming soon.
We got the tiny teaser today, and then tomorrow was it tomorrow or maybe even tonight? I don't even remember. Soon, by tomorrow at the very least, we will have the full trailer for the Netflix Daredevil series.
So, yeah. So, you ready for some dinner?
I'm ready for some dinner. Part
ready
2
for
is
some
coming
dinner.
up. Don't press that button yet. Don't press that button yet. Part 2 is coming up. Please do watch that. Scroll down and check out. Get that link if you're not on the Comics Online page, and watch Part 2 and so forth. We will talk about everything geek pop culture.
You know what we haven't been doing, Kevin?
Tell me.
We haven't been telling people, you got to like us on Facebook.
You do got to like us on Facebook.
You got to follow us on Twitter.
Please do.
And you got to subscribe to us on YouTube.
I would love it.
And blip.tv.
All of those things.
iTunes?
Definitely.
Okay, I didn't know.
Instagram?
Whoa. You can only drag me so far into the future.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where I stop, and then you're like, oh, do you have a Tumblr? Well, yeah, but, we don't use it. Yeah, make sure to add us on MySpace. There is a Comics Online MySpace. I haven't touched it in years, but there is one.
Well, if you touch it, it'll touch you back.
That's what I've learned from the internet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
From leaping tall buildings to going off like gamma bombs. Switch your internet browser to ComicsOnline.com.